All right, welcome back to another episode of BOC with Ketter. This is season 1, episode 15, and I have a special guest. You guys have probably seen him on a lot of my videos. Most recently, Summer of Brookies. We spent a lot of time together. I'll kick it over to you. You can introduce yourself.
My name's August West. Um, Custom and commercial fly tire, fly fisherman, and all around
Good guy.
something. I don't know what. I was gonna say dumbass, but you
I mean, we're
know.
all part of that life too, right? No, that's awesome. So yeah, August is joining today. August, as he kind of mentioned, ties a lot of his own flies, and it's something that I don't personally have a lot of experience in. So I'm fascinated by it as someone who fly fishes. So obviously something I want to get into as I grow in my journey. But to kick us off, August, what made you decide to get into tying your own flies?
When I got my first cheap fly rod combo, like the all-in-one
Yeah.
combo set, it was at a place that was giving heavy discounts on everything, and because they were going out of business, it was a sporting goods store, and so everything was like 90% off at that point. So I was just grabbing insane things, and one of the things I grabbed was like the fly combo, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I might as well just grab some of these materials. I just grabbed random materials. I had no idea what I was grabbing. A little couple hooks, some thread, little, the crappy vice that everybody kind of
I have
starts
one.
with. The one, yeah. Yeah, and just I went to town. So I started tying as soon like even before I at the same time, I should say. At the same time I started to learn how to fly fish. So kind of both happened at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, that can't be easy to learn something that's so unique already within fly fishing and then learning to tie your own flies. So that's just kind of like a double-edged sword. So I can't imagine how tough that could be.
Well, I love I I like the creative side of it, you know what I mean? I've never until I just started tying flies, I never had created anything in my life, really. You know what I mean? I damn sure never created anything that anybody would want to buy, you know? Yeah, it was kind of new to me, you know what I mean? It's but I really, really like the, I like where it's taken me, you
Yeah,
know?
no, that's a good point. The creative side, it feels good to create. That's literally why I started doing content too. Like I want to be proud of something that I'm doing, and it's like, well, here's an
Hmm.
outlet I can create, and hopefully people somewhat like it. So let's roll with it.
Hmm.
Hey, oh, I forgot to ask you, what are you sipping on? You
Oh,
got a cool beverage?
Hindu Kush?
There you go. That works too. I got a
Yeah.
little Spindrift, lime water. It's
Oh,
pretty
right
good.
on. Oh, I'm actually drinking tea too. I drink tea. I'm drinking tea right now. Yeah, I quit coffee recently. I just moved to tea. I just drink tea now.
Got you. Nice.
So,
What kind of
yeah.
tea?
I'm quite partial to like an English breakfast with some honey and lemon. It's like a little, kind of like a hot iced tea feel,
Huh?
I
Okay,
guess,
I could get into that. I could get
Yeah.
into that. That's sweet. Awesome. Do you remember the very first fly you tied?
I have it. You
You
want to
have
see
it?
it?
Let's see it. Let's
Yeah,
see
you
it.
want to see it? Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't know you still had it. This will be sweet.
Nope, nobody's ever seen this, but
Ooh, here we
this is
go.
this is the first fly I ever tied. Um, I s- was trying to tie a bulkhead or like a bucktail deceiver, but I used moose mane because I thought that was bucktail at the time.
I
I did not know.
mean, that's fair. That's a
So
fair
I had
assumption.
nobody to tell me.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you can see, every single thing about this is wrong. It's the wrong. Uh, the material's wrong. The hook is too small and light. The eye is crowded like a mofo. You couldn't
Yeah.
even get tippet in there if you tried. You know what I mean? Uh, but I tell you what, man, I keep this because it's it gives me inspiration, right? Because like I look at it and I'm like, damn, I've come a long way. You know what I mean? Like that's
That's
pretty
insane.
crazy. So
Did
yeah.
you ever were you able to actually ever try to fish that, or you literally can't
Mm-mm.
get through it?
No, hell no.
Dude, you
No,
should
no,
try
no, no,
still somehow.
no,
You should just
no, no, no.
try
I
it.
probably could. Honestly, I probably could now because I know now. Like I'm, I've been doing it for long enough that I know that a lot of times it's not about the fly. Yeah, it's about the way you fish the fly and
Presentation.
the presentation. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you and I have talked about that when we were out
Oh,
together. It's like
so
there's times
important.
where it's like you're out in the springtime and like I think you literally said it too, like a cigarette butt, like boom, you'll see a fish
Hmm.
come up, smoke
Yeah,
some, or
as
a
long
leaf, like a little bit of a leaf. It's like,
yeah, as long as you
yeah,
present it properly, and you know what I mean, and you don't offend that fish, and you approach properly, and as long as the fish doesn't know you're there, that's the big thing, man. That
yeah,
fish, those bigger, especially in those smaller creeks, man. We'll probably get into this later, but like the one of the biggest things I've learned fishing these small creeks is you gotta sneak up on these mother. You gotta sneak up on them,
yeah.
dude. If you know, yeah,
You got busted a lot
you'll
with that.
catch fish.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You can catch fish. You'll catch fish, but you're not gonna get that caliber of the fish that you want. You know what I mean? Like those, you're not gonna fool those big fish in those
they're
small
gone
creeks.
in a heartbeat. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
if they even show themselves, they're so
Mhm.
elusive, as you know too.
Mhm.
It's just yeah, dude.
Yep.
It's a whole different world. You're not from Minnesota, right, August? You kind
No.
of been all
No,
over
sir.
too.
Yeah, I'm originally from New Jersey.
New
Um.
Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of lived all over the place. I lived, you know, all up and down the East Coast. I lived in Arizona. I lived in Northern California. And then I came out here from there.
Yeah, and
So
you fly fish all the way through that journey of your life, correct?
no, 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 no. I never. I've been fly fishing for like 6 years now, 7 years, and that's started when I came here.
That's freaking sweet.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Minnesota, and you just
we
started
got a
flying.
lot of. Yeah,
That
well, I mean, we got a lot of. I would see all these lakes and everything. I started in lakes like a lot of people do, just fishing warm water
yeah,
stuff. But
yeah,
like the there's so many lakes and stuff around here. It blew my, I was like, why am I not getting outside and taking advantage of all this?
oh
Because
yeah. You don't, yeah, exactly. You don't need a boat. Like, there's so much opportunity in Minnesota to get out and fish, whether it's lakes, streams, bigger rivers. Like, it's literally
yep.
endless. But that's
Mhm.
awesome. So, when you started, did you have a mentor? Did you just start on your own? Was it something you're like, I can just get in and do this, or did you kind of have someone that was guiding you through the process?
So, like in fly tying.
In fly tying, correct?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. A couple mentors. Definitely. Um, some that I'm now friends with. Gunner Brammer, is a dear friend of mine who has me and him have had hours of conversations about fly design and fly this, that, and the other. Uh, Gunner, Bob Popovics, rest in peace, is was big influence on me. Dave Nelson from Squimpish Flies, Dave, Jason Taylor, Fly on By from on Instagram. Jason's a friend and a good a mentor for sure. I mean, I started with all streamers. That's kind of where my you see me catching like the trout and doing the dry fly stuff. That's purely for me. That's all my fishing stuff. The and pretty much any dry flies you've seen me present or whatever, they're all just flies I fish. I don't commercially move any of those flies. All my business is streamers. So yeah, like that's kind of what I'm known for.
that's
So yeah,
awesome.
those are my influences. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to like did you like reach out to those people and like, or how did that connection kind of work? It was
Well,
like, hey, I want to get into this, or what
yeah,
was that?
Gunner, like he I had asked him about it. Well, we've been talking, and then but one day I asked him about casting. We were talking about, we moved from fly tying to fly casting, and he was like, "Send me a video of you casting," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "You really?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." So I took a little video of me casting. He like put it into his computer, like analyzed it, like showed me like rod thing. You know what I mean? He took like way beyond, and I learned so much, right from that, and that's kind of like the first real like interaction, friendship that we had. And just from there, it was like
Crazy. That's cool. Yeah, that's no, that casting, like as you and I have talked about on the river, like yeah, when you have someone else look at how you're casting, you can really
yep.
start to learn where you're
Hmm.
making mistakes, what you're trying to work on and stuff. And yeah, dude, it's been nice. I feel like I've owned in a lot more on my casting ever since
Hmm.
think our
I've
last
noticed
time
the
together,
last
yeah.
couple of videos. That last couple of videos, I've
Yeah.
noticed, brother.
I was
I've
like,
noticed.
okay, this feels
Yeah, yeah,
nice and tight. I was like, okay. Shout out August for those little fixes. So it is cool when you do have a different perspective because you get stuck in your habits and it's like, oh,
yeah.
I didn't even know that. So
Exactly. Yeah, you could do something wrong for 100 years, and not know it.
literally,
You
and
know
not
what I
even
mean? Like it's
yeah,
not, And I don't say wrong, like, because if honestly, at the end of the day, if it works, then who am I to say it's wrong? You know what I mean? But like, there's definitely an optimal way to do things, in my opinion. So,
like cast further. Yeah, sure,
mhm.
please. I'd love to cast further. Like, let's get past that 40-yard mark. Let's
Yeah.
let's do
Yep.
that. That's awesome. So when it comes to time flies, do you prefer like to kind of stick to those classical patterns, or do you like to experiment and just kind of get creative with it?
I go way out there.
You
That's
do
where
go
I live. Yeah, that's where I live. All my flies are just, you know, just I mean, like most people, it's a lot of it is amalgamations. You know what I mean? Crossbreeding here and this, that, and the other, and taking it from this person and this, that. I always try to give credit where credit's due. It's very important for me. I don't, I'm, uh, how can I say? I truly stand on the shoulders of giants. I know that I don't really do anything, even though I do things that haven't kind of been done before. They've kind of already been done before, but just not to the certain. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Um, everybody's just working so much with. Everybody's pretty much working with a finite amount of ingredients, right? And I just consider. I think what I do is just I specialize in a certain small amount of ingredients, and I do things with them that not a whole lot of people do.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah, I feel like then you can really, like you mentioned in the beginning, you can really show your creative side then because you have, I'm not gonna say a template, but you have like these ideas that all kind of come together, and then you get to put your own spin, own taste on it, and I'm sure that's where it's
Hmm.
like, wow, this is something I did, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Exactly.
So how would you? This might be a tough question, but how would you say tying your own flies affects the way you fly fish?
Immensely.
Immensely. I like that
Immensely. Yeah.
answer.
Because I get to do whatever I want. I'm not stuck with whatever I have to buy in the store, right? Or whatever. Even I can maybe have to commission somebody to tie, right? Like I can just do it myself. There's no middleman whatsoever, right? If I observe something out there and I want to mimic it, I can just do it, right? And that's very important to me. It's very important to me. Honestly, I don't think I would be as interested in the sport if I wouldn't couldn't be able to do that, right?
It's a
That
good
makes sense?
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like that is the part that I'm personally missing. It's like, yeah, I want to have that. I feel like it's a full circle connection. Then it feels like
Mhm.
if you're fly fishing, great, that's cool. But if you're tying your own flies, like you're full circle. There's
Mhm.
full input from you. I mean, if you're like literally going out and getting the bucktail by harvesting a deer, if you're doing like all that, it's like you can literally full circle this, and
Yeah.
that's pretty neat.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's awesome. And then
Yeah.
you kind of already answered this, but do you think like tying your own flies makes you a better angler?
Well,
Or let me say
me,
this,
me,
more observant
me,
angler.
me, yes.
Yeah,
Me,
yeah.
yes. I can't speak for everybody.
No, you can't.
How's that? How's that? I'll give you that.
That's a good answer. Yeah. I mean, like to your point, I just feel like you're more observant when you're because like you said, you could go out tomorrow and you could see something going on and be like, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna mimic what I just seen on the river. Like that's sweet. Instead of having to go to a fly shop and being like, okay, let's hope that they have what I just seen. So
Yep.
that's got to be a huge bonus.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's very rewarding. It's fulfilling, you know?
Yeah, exactly. What would
Yeah.
you say? This might be another tough one. Maybe think about it. What would you say is your all-time favorite fly to tie? And you can give me a couple if you can't just like narrow it down to one.
It was the beast fly, right? Well, it's like pretty much any fly with bucktail, like any pop fly, right? Like any kind of bob fly that has bucktail, like a beast fly or a bulkhead or a bucktail deceiver or a bucktail deceiver squid or basically anything from Fly Design. Those are
Okay.
all my favorite flies to tie. Yes, the 3D fly. These are all, yeah, those are all my favorite. And they'll always be my favorite.
Okay.
Bob is the greatest fly tire that I've ever seen, that ever, in my opinion, has ever graced the sport. Others have been great, but nobody has done it to the extent that Bob has.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you like tying, like when you and I go fishing? Do you like tying those little dry flies, or do you find it kind of
Oh, I
like
love it. I love it. Yeah, yeah, I love it. It's because again, I'm not a one fly or two, three fly kind of person. You see that a lot on Instagram, especially. Guys are great at tying fly, but they'll just keep tying the same fly over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Uh, uh, I can't do that. I will go nuts, right? So that's why I like to, and ever since I discovered the dry fly trout stuff, it's just that's a whole now. It's like my whole world had it like I realized that I was only like my entire thing that I was doing. I realized that like there's still so much more. You know what I mean? I'm like, holy shit, I forgot about the bugs.
yeah,
Forgot about the
literally
bugs.
the bugs are a part of the
Forgot
life
about the
cycle.
bugs, dude.
Yeah,
Forgot about the bugs. I was so concentrated on fish and squid and shrimp, I forgot about the bugs. But yeah.
that's crazy. Because like my head immediately go to
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
most people do.
terrestrials,
Most people
bugs,
do.
nymphs.
Mhm.
Starting in that world, and then you kind of move up. I feel like, but that's cool that you kind of took it from a different angle. That's awesome. Do you ever
Yeah.
tie any? I know we've talked about this on the river, but do you ever tie any little nymphs, or you just kind of stay out of that world?
Nymphs, not really for me. It's not something I really dig. It's not like I'm a. I mean, I don't want to use the word purist,
Sure.
but I'm just gonna say that I really like fishing single dry flies
That's
for
fair.
almost all the year. Yeah, I like it. I do fish streamers sometimes, occasionally, but if I do go something subsurface, I'm way more apt to use something like a soft hackle wet fly, and in that traditional style, because I do love a lot of those traditional flies because I learned so much about fly tying from tying some of those traditional flies, even the salmon flies and stuff that I don't even fish. You know what I mean? I learned so much from those, you know what I mean? Feather sets, you know what I mean? How to set feathers to make them, do what you want and like all that other stuff. But yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like yeah. I
I
hope
agree
that
with you on that part, though. It is fun to throw dry flies, and like where we are, we're pretty unfortunate because like most of the year you can find a dry fly hatch. I mean, even in winter, like there's midges hatching. If the sun comes out early morning, like there will be midges hatching. It's like okay, let's throw in a size 22 midge and let's go dry fly fishing. Like we're pretty fortunate where we are, so it's like you really can pretty much year round. Obviously, we have a closing period where we can't fish, but outside of that, you can get into it most of the year.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool. It'll be coming up quick, man. We'll be winter fishing before we know it. It's gonna be a whole different game.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
It's gonna be a good time though. Get out on some of the bigger water and see what happens out there.
Yeah, right on.
That's
I
awesome.
don't know. I'm
So,
always
how would you say your fly tying has evolved from day one to where you and I are talking right now? What's the biggest transition evolve you've seen kind of in your journey?
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah,
That's an interesting question.
it is.
Um, so I think it's that I realized that it's not just about tying something and catching the fish, right? How about that? It's like when I realized that there's a whole world of people out there that are awesome, that are into this stuff, and that you can do almost anything with it. You know what I mean? It's that moment that where it blew my head apart, where I was like, "Wait a minute! You tell me I can make like a whole fish out of a fly, like a big like this, And then when I discovered like musky flies and that whole thing, and the success I found with that, and just everything, man, yeah, the biggest thing for me was when I realized that how big that world was and what could be done, right? How it's not just about, tying a woolly bugger and going to catch a bluegill, you know what I mean? Or it could be if you want it to be.
Yeah,
You know
of
what I mean?
course.
But
Yeah,
what
there's
but
levels.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
No, that's
So
good.
yeah.
Yeah, the community part of it is got
Mhm.
to. I mean, I'm not in the fly tying community, but obviously, talk to some people,
You're a
and it
Jason.
seems, yeah, it seems like you're. It seems like it's very, very close knit and very knowledgeable, and just a ton of awesome people. And it's just like, well, that's another great reason to get into something.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's not there's it's the whole like yeah, I don't know. I already just said it. Yeah, I'm not gonna
No,
repeat what
you're
I
good.
said again,
Yeah,
but yeah,
no, I feel
yeah.
I pick up what you're putting down. I totally get
Right
what
on.
you're saying. That's awesome. And then you kind of talked about this in the beginning. Do you see yourself, ever really getting into like really commercial time? You can definitely, tell us more
Well, I
about that.
do it. I do it.
Yeah, I know you do. You can
I
tell us
do the
that
damn
journey if
thing.
you'd like. Yeah,
Yeah,
give us a little rundown what you do there.
my commercial side is mostly musky flies.
Yes.
I mean it's I do some other stuff too, but mostly my biggest output in the commercial field is going to be musky flies through Musky Fool,
Yes.
in Wisconsin, near Madison, muskyfool.com. You can find my flies. Available exclusively there now. A
That's
small
awesome.
shop run by good folks. You know what I mean? A family run business, and it's just they've just been really great. They've been really great to me. And they were one of the first people to believe in me, and say, "Hey, you want to tie us some flies?" And it just started from there. And I started, a couple, 20, 30 flies, and then, you know, 50 flies, and then, now it's the orders of 100 plus flies, and it's like, oh my god.
That's so cool, man.
So,
That is awesome. Did that
yeah, it's
relationship start like over the internet? Did you meet at a convention? Was it just something that kind of naturally?
yeah, just on the internet, I started dealing with them just because they have bucktail, a good bucktail, and it was right before they had opened the shop, the actual physical shop. So when I started dealing with them, they were still uh, working out of the basement. They were just online only. And then yeah, so
That's
yeah,
awesome.
and just I've seen the whole trajectory of their business, and it's just been
Mm.
amazing. I mean, it's
I've
cool.
been
It's so
following
cool.
with their journey here. Their YouTube videos have been pretty fun. Those series parts have been pretty fun to watch. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's pretty cool. I know zero things about musky fishing and fly fishing for muskies,
I'll
but
tell you
it's
something,
still
brother.
really cool to watch. Like really
You,
fun
you
to
don't
watch.
want you don't that's a world you don't want.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick to what I somewhat
Shoot,
know before I
dude,
branch out.
dude, it took me 3 years.
To catch your first
Yeah,
one,
to
right?
carry it on the fly. It
Yeah.
3 years. Yeah,
How rewarding was that?
I'm not ashamed to say it.
No, that's
It was
was it like
of
an
grinding,
aha moment where
of
you were just
grinding.
like, I did this? Like,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was with Gunner. That made it really
okay,
special. That made it really special. So it was really cool. Yeah, it was. It was a walk and wade fishery.
okay.
And it was. Yeah, it was really cool. It was kind of like picture like how you streamer fish for trout, something like that, but like from musky. It's that.
Yeah, it's
Got like
gotta
a
be
certain.
bizarre. I mean, I'll do Northern
Yeah.
Pike quite a bit, and I love that, but I'm sure it's even still a whole different world when it comes to Northern Pike to Muskie, so I can't imagine.
They don't act the same.
They
They do
don't, do
not act
they?
the same. Yeah, they don't. Pike are willing to bite a fly no matter what. You can go
Yeah,
pike fishing any time of the day, and as long as there's a decent amount of pike in your lake, something's gonna smell. You know what I mean? If you use like the bright kind of little small, like a fly that like looks like a baitfish, it's about that big, they're just
yep.
gonna smash it. It doesn't matter what color it is. You know what I mean? As long as you fish it pretty good and it moves right, you'll get some action on it. Yeah. Yep. Yep. They're
So would
not
you say
picky,
Muskies are a
but
little
muskie are
more
extremely picky.
smarter?
Yeah,
Okay.
extremely picky and very like like to the point it's like you know, uh, funny, almost because they like, you just get so many follows before you're like, what the fuck? Why aren't you?
And they just don't.
Yeah. And then when they do bite, sometimes they just like, just and it's like, no.
So
Or
they don't
sometimes
like
you
really
hook them and they
smoke it
don't.
ever? They don't just like
Oh, they
rip on
do. A lot of times, I just never have found a fish that hot. You know what I mean? Like they're not. Yeah, like it's pretty. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's like super super rare, but it's like you got to put the time, either be really lucky or you got to put the time in and know exactly where to be at exactly the right time and use the exact right everything and make sure that you know what I mean, because they're very moody. They're
Interesting. Are
very
you
moody. Yeah, they'll drive you
gonna get
nuts,
out
dude. They will drive you
besides that?
nuts.
You think you're gonna get out this fall yet?
For muskie again?
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
feel like that's the
I
time of the year,
I've been out. Yeah, I've been out. Like I caught one, like the big one on opener this year,
right? Yeah.
and then I've been out like 4 times since then. and like I have one fish since then swipe at my
Okay.
fly but miss. Yeah. And any of the people I've fished with, I've had fish in the boat either. The closest thing I saw was one of my friends hooked up, but he got right off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a real grind out there,
Yeah, it's
huh?
super grind. That's a good way to describe it. I mean, you've seen the figure eight.
Yeah, it looks.
It's just like that. They're not like really putting a whole lot of drama spin on it. Like, you know what I mean? It really is like that. It can suck, dude. You know, like you could be out there and just be like, oh, you know?
Millions of casts.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's crazy. Oh man, that's cool though. That's cool. I definitely could
It
see
makes
why.
it worth
It
it when a
seems like
big
it's
one,
really popular.
when you have an encounter with a big one though, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep, those big nets, those big landing nets that we use for muskie, they look stupid as hell until you have a fish in one. You know what I mean? Then they don't look so dumb no more. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely gotten more popular too over the years. I feel like a lot of people really, really
Oh
have
yeah,
switched gears into that, and it's like, okay, this is
it
this
is
is a
fun because it's fun. People like a grind. People
well,
like
and they like big
a
fish.
challenge. Yeah, they like a challenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, people want to catch big fish, and that's gonna be one of the bigger fishes you can catch.
Yeah, true.
Let me ask you
True.
one more question of fly
So
tying
you
stuff.
can ask me as many questions as you want,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm gonna blast off. So if you were to give advice to somebody who wants to get into fly tying, has nowhere to start, what would be the best advice you would give them?
I would say focus on one fly pattern and try to get really good at tying that first. And then from there, the materials that you'll have from that, you'll see that you only need maybe one or two other little materials to try to branch out and do something else, right? And then let it continue like that, because when you get pretty good at tying a fly and you've taken it out and you fished it and it's functional and you know what I mean? Like that's what I mean when I say get good at tying. I don't mean like you could tie it and it looks good, you know what I mean? Because it might be not durable, it might be complete crap. You know what I mean? You want to make it good, make it as good as you can, right? And make sure you take it out and fish it and the fish eat it, right? And you're happy with it. Then move to the next fly, right? Like don't try to spread yourself very thin, because when you do that you kind of lose sight of the applications, because the applications with fly tying are what's important. That's the most important thing. Flies are what they are because of the applications, right? It's not because of the color or even the materials themselves. It's because of the way it is. It's the way that it's put together that makes it what it is, right?
Sure,
Does that make sense?
it does. So I've done a little research here and there. Obviously, is there like a fly that you would recommend? Like this should be the first tie anyone should ever fly. Like is the woolly bugger like this start here, or do you just like where would you go with
Never,
that?
never. I
Okay.
would say, whatever it's ultimately a fishing thing. So
Yeah.
whatever fish you want to fish for,
Okay.
whatever fly that fish likes, that's the fly you want to tie, right? Don't if you like, you know what I mean? Don't if you live in, you know, it's great. If you live in the Florida Keys, right? Don't go tying woolly buggers, right? Tie some EP peanut butters, right? Tie some crab flies, right? Tie some flies that are going to catch, tarpon and snook and things like this, right? Because that's the things you want to go fish for, right? If you live in, in Miami or some up where, some inland place and you like fishing for peacock bass, fish, get tie flies for peacock bass, If you live in Montana and you fish for trout, you want to try fishing for trout, then you might try woolly bugger. You know what I mean? Then you might in that sense, but use it in an application, like in a fishing, like a real sense that's going to benefit you as a fisherman, right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. No,
my
yeah.
that's
You
my
want to. Yeah. It kind of
yeah.
depends on what the fish you're fishing and what you're
Mhm.
targeting in your region. Yeah. Like yeah.
Mhm.
For
And
me.
people would say honestly, like, why do you like, you're saying that, but you tie, all these saltwater patterns and stuff. You know what I mean? But you keep in mind that, uh, not, I mean, squid aside, all of those other patterns are pike and musky viable, and that's where I learned. That's where I honed them in. You know what I mean, for myself too. So I just want that
Yeah.
in case there's anybody out there trying to throw
Calling
some
you out.
crap on me, but no.
Coming for
But
you,
I also
man.
have a lot of clients out east that fish striped bass. You know what I mean? That want the more classic style flies in that style, and I have no problem tying them. You know what I mean? It's just I don't live out there, so I don't really fish for stripers. If I did, I would. But yeah.
That's good. No, I like that. I like that advice. That makes a lot of sense. Has there ever been a fly where you tied it and you're sitting there and you finish it and you're like, there's no way this is gonna work, and you just brought it out. It's like this is terrible, but
It was my own tying. That right. It wasn't the fly pattern. I knew the fly would work, right? But like it was my own tying. It was like this big. I don't have it anywhere around here. I don't even know what the hell happened to it. I don't even know if I still have it actually. But it was a big shank beast, right? And it was like ridiculous long. It was big. But it was tied sparse enough I could cast on my 10 weight. And I remember this. I was out in a canoe, and my buddy had forgot the anchor, so he had to go back to the house. So he left me out in the canoe in the middle of a lake, and I was just like fishing this giant fly by myself, and I ended up hooking up a monster pike, like 40 something, more than 20 pounds. It was big,
oh
and
man,
yeah, it was huge. And then that really surprised me. That was the moment where I was like, "Oh my god, it can be done." It can be done. And then it was really funny because like I couldn't. I'm sitting in the front of the canoe. It was a canoe. So like he get back, right? And just as I let the fish go, he came back and I was like, I just caught this giant fish behind that. He's like, yeah, who gives a shit? Come on over here and pick me up. I was like, all right. So I start rowing, trying to row over to him, and I'm like, rowing. All of a sudden, this canoe's like, right. And I start like doing a circle. I'm like, what the hell? So I start going again. I'm like, canoe's like, doing a circle. I'm like, oh my god! I started getting mad, like mad to the point where I was like, I don't even want to do it. I can't do it. And I realized that I'm still sitting in the front of the canoe.
oh
It's like
yeah.
I didn't move to the middle, like yeah. I like as soon as I moved to the middle of the canoe, I was like, oh, duh, yeah, and I like went right over to him. But like I was literally like, I did like 3 or 4
That's like
circles.
something out of a movie,
So
bro.
mad,
Just like
yeah, I was so mad. Yeah, yeah.
that's
So
good shit. Oh,
pretty
that's
funny.
awesome. But it worked. It caught you a fish, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yep,
awesome. That's
yep,
dude. That's I would.
yeah. Yo, I'll take you to my Pike Lake if you want.
Let's do it,
Yeah. We could do that. Yeah, it'd be fun. There's 40s in there.
dude.
There's 40s in
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
my biggest is like
and
36.
there's lots of them too because it's cool. I'm obviously not going to say the name of it, but
Yeah, don't
it's
say it.
like it's a there's no boat ramp. There's no public access to the lake. It's only a like you have to portage in there. You know what I mean? So it's like only like light boats can get in there, but not a lot of people know about it, and it's like pretty good. Yeah.
Dude,
Get some
do you
traffic in
have?
the winter for ice fishing, but in the
Oh, I
summertime,
bet.
nobody goes out there. Yeah.
Do you have a kayak or canoe?
I have a belly boat,
Okay.
but like I'm sure we can figure something out.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
actually
mean,
have heard
yeah,
kayaks.
we'll
It's
figure
not
something out.
like ideal to fly fish out of a kayak, but I do it, so it's doable. It's
Yeah,
doable.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
we'll figure something out.
just gotta get. Yeah, dude. Let's get something on the books for that. That would be a
Yeah, for sure.
blast.
Yeah. Have
That's
you ever
awesome.
caught a pike on the fly?
Yeah, I've caught a few.
Okay, okay.
Nothing crazy big. My biggest on a fly is about 36 inches. I mean, that to me that
Oh,
was
that's nice. Oh, that's
yeah.
nice. Yeah, it's nice fish.
And I didn't even know what I was. That was like
Yeah.
my second year ever fly fishing. I was literally stripping a woolly bugger just off a dock, trying to
Oh, wow.
practice. And all of a sudden, I was like,
He
whoa,
just
whoa.
got you.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my
Uh,
goodness, and I
you're
got
lucky it
him.
didn't break you off.
It didn't break me off. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I think I had 1X tippet on, but I don't know how it didn't just bite either. So I was like,
yeah,
yeah,
you're
pretty
lucky.
cool. Yeah. Now I got all the pike leaders and stuff, and talk to you about that too. But yeah, it's really fun. I enjoy that. I can see me getting into that pretty heavily, especially in these fall months. Like
It's
they
fun.
get those big bellies on them, man, and they're just ready to go.
Yeah, it's fun. They're always ready to eat the fly. They don't.
They are.
I mean, they don't really mess. They don't. They're not moody like the pike, like the muskie.
No,
So
they're not at all. And
yeah,
like honestly, they're pretty good at eating. Like people kind of shit on them. Like they're actually a really good fish to eat if you're into eating fish. So it's like, all right.
I can tell you this much. I can tell you because I used to be a chef for many years.
hmm
I can tell you that the around here a lot of the walleye that you get in restaurants is either going to be walleye or pickerel.
Yeah, I believe
Right
that.
now, pickerel is very close to a pike. It is a pike. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. There's
Yeah,
not very much difference there at all.
a
So
Canadian pike. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying
Yeah, dude, it's white.
about
It's
that.
white
Like, you know what I
meat. Yeah,
mean? So,
yeah. It's you just got to figure out the Y bone, but once you figure that out, like, it's dang good meat. I got no problem eating a northern pike.
right on.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Cool.
dude. We'll have to do that. Switch gears on you a little bit. Do you steelhead
So
fish?
never have. And there. I mean, I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not. Well, the thing is like to. Uh, I have an aversion to messing with spawning fish.
Fair enough.
So like any kind of fish that are on a run of any
Mhm.
sort, I'm not it's not for me. You know what I mean? Any of the salmon, any of the the any of that stuff like that. I don't know if steelhead fall into that category. Do they eat the fly because they're hungry, or do they eat the fly because you
Hungry.
know what I mean? Like I like fish that eat the fly because they're hungry.
Yeah, I think for the most part, yeah, they're up eating eggs and stuff. I don't think they are too like excited to strike on like streamers and stuff. But I've only done it like twice in my life. Mitch would know a lot more about that. I want to get Mitch on one of these
Yeah.
too. I've been chatting with him a little bit, but yeah,
Oh,
I
Mitch would
just
be great.
yeah, he's been busy. He's
Mitch will
been doing a
talk to
lot
you
of
about
stuff.
steelhead. Ask him that
That's
question.
yeah, yeah.
Ask
I'm
him
gonna.
if they bite. Ask him if they bite the fly because they're hungry, or they bite it 'cause
You'll have a fun answer to that one, I bet.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been talking to him a little bit, so I'll get him on here one of these days, and we'll talk steelhead because I'd like to learn a lot more about that too. That seems very
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, I would too. Honestly,
Just
I
a
would
cool.
too.
It's a cool fish too, regardless, just to
Yeah,
learn about.
yeah, for sure.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna switch gears on you a little bit more too. We're gonna switch gears from the fly tying to. Let's talk a little bit about the brook trout. Obviously, you and I kind of went after them pretty hard this summer, and still kind of targeting them. What has been the most exciting thing for you to target brook trout? Like, is it just another trout, or is it just like, wow, this is so
Mm.
different?
No, I like them. I like the brook trout a lot. I like
Okay.
the fact that they're native. You know what I mean? I like the fact that they're the most beautiful trout. I think
Hands
I
down.
like it. Well, that we have around here. The I like the whole thing about it. Yeah.
Me too. Me
Um,
too.
and I yeah, I like all I like the fact that they taught me a lot about how to fish and about what fish want and how to do it. It like they'll at first they'll humble you. You know what I mean? They'll humble you, but if the lessons are there, if you quiet yourself and observe, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I like about them.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't think brook trout's for in our area. I don't think brook trout fishing is for everyone, and I definitely can see like how
It
you
better
kind
not be.
of right. It's worse. No one do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see the passion you have for him too. I was like, okay, he's got the same feeling I have for brook trout. Like it's just a special fish, and yeah, I think a lot of people are like, I'm not gonna go battle that in the middle of and catch 6 to 12 inch fish, but like it's
Yeah.
not about that. It's a whole different story, and a lot of people just they don't get that. So it's cool to see people that have that same passion for brookies. I love that.
Right, it's only every time I go out, it just gets worse. It gets more and more. You know what I mean? It's like,
Getting
yeah, I don't
stronger
know.
every time you go, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, no, actually, I'm not. I'm not even going to say anything about that. But
Yeah, like
well, I'll talk about that later.
they're not even out there anymore.
Yeah,
They're gone.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
That's
The
awesome,
trout
man.
routes app is shit. It must be broken.
I think it crashed tonight actually. That's awesome, man. Well, sweet August. Those were my main big questions. Is there anything else you wanted to chit chat about while we're hanging out?
Oh man, I'm good. You know, I just just had a couple days fishing with my dad. It was really fun. You know, and like yeah, just uh just chilling. You know, trout's gonna get ready to end soon in a little bit, so
Yes.
I'm gonna be sad, but you know, fly tying, full on fly tying season
I
is
was gonna
coming.
say that's
So
got to be a big time for you to
so
really
yeah,
go because you don't ice fish, right?
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
me
No.
neither.
My dad was busting my balls about it too.
I bet he wants to come up and try that out.
No, but like
That's
I gave him the reasons, and he was like, "I get it, I get
that's all good.
it." So
It's a whole different. I mean, if he wants to try it and you need some people, let me know. But yeah,
right on.
it's a whole different world, man. It's not.
Yeah,
It's different. I'll just say that.
that's the word for it.
Yeah, that's a good
Word
word
for
for
it.
it. All right, well, August, I
Awesome.
wanted to thank you for coming on the podcast today. I know everyone's really busy with life, and you've just been spending some time with your dad and doing some fishing. So thanks for coming on and chit chatting. I learned a lot about fly tying, and I hope you all do as well. For now, Ketter at the cabin, and August, peace out.